and welcome to a special bonus episode of the Arya Bark Podcast. My name's Caroline. There is no Andrew, for I am in my craft room. Some of you may or may not be aware that Andrew has left home. He moved out last Friday and we quickly painted. Actually, we went to B&Q the day he moved out and bought paint and started the day after he left and painted, because it was always intended that when Andrew moved out this would be my craft room. It's not completely finished, it is still a work in progress, but during the move from one room to the other, I came across a lot of unfinished projects and forgotten projects and whips and project bags with stuff in. The hope was that when I went through the project bags I would find my missing needles. What I have found is I found some of the cords, because some of the cords are still in the bag and bags, but the needles are nowhere to be found. So this, in the picture at the beginning, you'll have seen the gathered together projects that I have. Some of them are future projects that I'm planning on working on. The vast majority are projects I've started and put away and forgot that I was working on them. The hope had originally been to have my future projects that I'm planning on keeping and finishing, projects that are going to be frogged, and projects that I've just no interest in and I'm going to bin. There will be no bin list. There is one project that I'm planning on frogging. A lot of them are future projects. So the majority of them can be found on my personal Ravelry page, which is Sultra, and there may or may not be notes. Some of them are just the initial project page, just so I can keep track of where I'm going. It's not going to be fun. So we'll jump straight in to the first project, which is definitely a keep, and it is the two bags that are down here. Actually, I found another one when I was looking for a pair of socks, and there's wool for this project in here. This is needing ripped out. It's in various stages of being ripped out and redone. So there's Daughter of a Shepherd bag. There is one B&M bag. There's my Happy Crocheting bag that Ryan got me years and years and years ago, full of wool. There is an Asda bag. And there is a massive bag that's just full of bits and wool. This is Ryan's Scottish gas blanket. I'll stick pictures in at either end of every iteration of this blanket there has been. I think originally it started off as a bubble blanket, then it got ripped out and restarted again as a bubble blanket, then it got ripped out a couple of times and got restarted as a corner blanket. Now it's been ripped out and I'm going to do a stranded Tunisian crochet blanket. This, I don't know if I can get the full thing in. Maybe. This is about the size of it. It's about wingspan length. Width, not length, width. So I am currently working on a small patch to see if I can manage doing it as a Tunisian stranded project, and hopefully after 5 years it will get done. So that's my first keep project. Now for the bag that my loom came in, postage bag. This project is my Stephen West blanket. It's in my Arya Bark Podcast bag that I bought from Roundel Print. This is the project that I've been working on the most. I think I counted 24 rows for the end. Well, 25 because I'm on the 25th row now. I am on the third to last chevron. You've got the wee knitted bits in between. There's another 2 or 3 sections of them to go, and I'm currently on the cream. I'll have another blue and another grey section to go, and then I can start binding it all off. Obviously I think that when I was speaking to the ladies on Zoom, I'd asked their opinion about whether I should just stop it after the grey section or keep going, and knowing what I'm like, I think it was pretty unanimous that I should just keep going with it, because I'm not going to be happy if it's not done the way it's supposed to. This, it takes about an hour and 15 to an hour and 30 minutes to finish each round, and obviously I've got 25 to go, so I've got about 30, give or take, hours worth of work to go. So this is definitely going to be keeping a keep pile, and I'll just keep working on that until it's finished. Next, this is a Rick Rack boom bag. As you can tell, I don't care whether it's Christmas or whatever, I'll still use it. The amount these projects are sitting. Now, what is in this? This is Andrew's cardigan, usual me in the middle of a row. Now, I will need to speak to Andrew to see if this is a possible frog. It's been that long since I worked on this, I actually can't remember whether Andrew actually still wants a cardigan. So that's possible frog. What was that? That was, I think it was a mix and match cardigan by Mina Phillips. Andrew doesn't care if it's a lassie's cardigan, he'll wear what he's given. What is next? This one. This is my bag from Raylene, who is Crafty Kiwi on Facebook. Raylene does sell project bags. I'll leave a link in the show notes of Raylene's page. Raylene's bags are awesome. In this one, is my north and southeasterly. Again, this is going to be a definite keep. I am on third strip. This strip will be all advents that I've taken part in the last couple of years, and it is a fair size. Obviously that's hit touching the floor where I'm up to, and do that way easier. So again, it is a fair size. This will be another project that I keep working on. I'm not in any particular rush to get it finished. I've been going between this and 2 other mini skein projects, which has now grown to 3. So the plan will be to work on this when I start working on them on Zooms and stuff like that, and hopefully I can get a fair bit of progress put into it, and this is how I store it. So I've got a bag of minis for this, so I'll be working on keeping that and working on them. Next is it this one? Yes, it is. The next bag, this is a This'll Do You bag. I'm not sure if she still does bags actually, I need to check. This is my owl bag, and this is, I can never find the right way for this blanket. This way. This is the Triangulum by Ellie Jones of Craft House Magic. I've done a fair bit of progress on this. Again, this is just going to be one of these projects that my mini skeins go into, or bits that are left over for socks and swaps and stuff. This again is going to be a project that gets kept, and I'll just work on it as and when. This bag. This is another bag from Raylene. Look at wee happy face. Wee happy coo. This houses, I'll come back to that other bag in a minute. This houses the miter square blanket. I have put on, I've done 2 full blocks of 100. This is block 1. That's block 2. And I've started it's there. And this further down is block 3. Again, this is another project that's a long-term project, so I'll just keep working on it as and when I feel like it, and I will need to at some point weave in all the ends. The minis are being housed in a project bag that I got from Jane from Mouse Knits and Crafts, and it's just full of minis to go into my miter blanket. Once they've been put in that, I then put them in my other scrappy project bag, scrappy projects. So again, that's keep. Now, is this the one I'm looking for? Yes, it is. This is a Doris and Hazel bag, fox bag. In here is yarn for the Trinity wrap by Padma R. I'm still wanting the Trinity, so that is going to go in my future project pile, which is there, and I'll get that done once I start clearing off my needles. What is next? This bag is I don't know what you call these bags, swim bags. It's my Rusty Ferret bag, and in here is wool for the special stripy blanket. Again, this is going to be a future project once my needles are cleared. I'm really not in any major rush for more blankets. I've got hundreds, but I like knitting. I can always get away. So that will go into the future project pile. What is next? In my my Cottage number 9 bag, which was gifted to me from Heather. Love that bag. This is my basic socks with integrated heels. I'm not 100% sure if I like. I'm really not sure if I like the colour of that. I'm just going to keep working on them. At the end of the day, they're socks. Doesn't really matter what they look like. I think I've done about 20 rows, 20 rounds in each of them, and they're back to being worked 2 at a time. These are the that's the projects that I normally take down to Ryan's dad's, so they'll definitely be getting kept. Next project. Next one is another future project. Again, random bits of wool and bags. This is Knit Picks Felice and the Dance Party colourway. Don't know, maybe see it better that way. Now, I have got these down as being socks. However, I did have a brainwave earlier on, and I think what I might do is make a pair of, I think they're called opera mittens by Albina McLaughlin. I'm sure they're called opera mittens. I'll leave a picture in. I really want a pair of these gloves. Who doesn't want gloves that come up to like here? So that's what they're going to be, because I do like that colourway and I really want a pair of the mittens. So that's the plan for those ones. Next one. This is a Hobbycraft bag that needs washed, clearly. As you can tell, it was found at the bottom of a cupboard and I just drew on it with fabric markers. This is the Flying Fox shawl by... Nope, I have absolutely no idea. No idea whatsoever who that show's by. I'll leave a bit up there. And a random 2.5mm circular needle just drops out of a project bag. So this is how much I've done so far. I've just started on the mesh section. I'm just going to keep working away on that as well. This was my TV knitting up until last night, when I tried to record this and realised I didn't know what half the projects were, so I had to stop and go through them and find out what projects I was working on. Again, that I'm going to keep because I'm wanting that shawl. I don't need any more shawls, but I want that shawl. So that's yet another keep. This bag is one I made myself. It is very dodgy. This part's great. My handle, not so much. This is a design I'm working on for a pair of socks. Now, as you can tell, I've knit the needles and it's starting to come out, so I think I'll need to restart them again. So that's most definitely getting kept. Actually, I'll put that up there because I need to fix that for keeping it. This bag is, now, this is an unknown festival bag. It may possibly be either Edinburgh Yarn Festival from 2020 or Perth Festival of Yarn. Wherever it was, Rusty Ferret was there because I got a Rusty Ferret badge. I'm not 100% sure. Where that bag came from. And in here is yet another ball of wool. This is West Yorkshire Spinners and I'm sure it's wrong punch. And I'd started a sock and ripped it back out. Probably because I nicked the needle. That'll be a future project. I don't know whether I'm going to do socks or a hat or what, but it'll be something. What is after that? Yes, this is my new TV knitting. This is another Rick Raccoon bag. Sorry for the sniffing, Ryan gave me his cold. This is the Excavation Blanket by Hypnotizer, or I don't know if that's Jana or Yana Pihota. I'll leave details up top. Now, this was the project that I originally thought I'm just going to bin it. And as I do, ask Mr. Bark, what do you think? And he's like, oh, I really like that. That's quite pretty. I was like, I was thinking about binning it. And he was like, oh, I wouldn't bin it. He says, it's really nice. I see. So I've decided I'm keeping it. I'm going to keep working on it. Just now I'm working on minis that have been put in all my projects, mini skein projects. I'll get this up to the same as them, and I'll just work the 4 blankets. But I'll work the 4 blankets together, so that's another keep, and I'll keep all the mini skein blankets roughly in the same bit. This is one of my very own dodgy bags. Clearly I missed at the stage where you top stitched the body of the bag with the inside of the bag. This is yet another pair of socks, as you can see. This actually it gets even dodgier, because apparently this bit fell out. Is there even a bit at the other end? Oh, there is. I might actually be able to fix that. This more than likely going to be a pair of socks. Probably going to be another pair of Albina socks, because I really like the Albina socks now. So this will go in the future knit pile, which is already full. Bra. And what is next? Woolly brew bag. In my Woolly Brew mini ball bag is what had originally started off being a musselburgh hat for Ryan. Then I nicked the needles to make, what's I nick the needles for? I think it was to finish the sleeves on the circle. I'll just restart this again. I'm losing stitch markers and everything. I'll restart this. That'll be a future project. I'll rip it back and restart it. He's no desperate for hats. Next one. And yet another Rick Rack Room bag is my Islay jumper. This should have been an FO, but I had an issue with my hood. The hood is absolutely massive. So I've spoken to Albina. I need to take the hood back 5 inches and try that, and hopefully that should work. That again is going to go on the wee pile here for fix, because really all I'm needing to do is fix that, weave my ends in, and I'm done. So stick this. Still need needles. So that's it here on the you need fixed pile. What one's next? Next in my knitting sheet bag that I got from Ryan is my, which is slightly apt, is my counting sheet blanket. This I'm still wanting. The plan will be, once I finish the Stephen West blanket, I'll pick this back up again and work on it, because I'm wanting this in here. I've not quite decided where exactly it's going to go. It would possibly have to go here, or I can make it shorter and put it above the radiator. again, this is a keep. It's lost one of its needles. I've got a fair idea where that needle is, so I'm not too worried about that. And its box full of wool is sitting over there. So that one's yet another keep. I'm not doing well with this, am I? Oh, this one. I finally have one that I can frog. This is in my Naomi's favourite bag that I was gifted from Heather. Love that bag. And here was Andrew's Biohazard socks. I did not get on well with this project at all. It was ripped out, restarted, and it's been ripped out that much that the yarn's a bit no great. So the fit still wasn't right, so I've decided to rip it out. So I finally have a frog. So that'll go in my pile for tomorrow, and because it's a bit late now, to be using the ball winder. But that's the plan for these. They'll just go back in my stash and I'll use the wool for something. And then I can get my project bag back. Actually, I'll stick that there. So that's them. 19 projects down. Another 19 to go. The next project bag is the wool. Now I'm needing to cover that, right? You can hazard a guess. It doesn't work better like that. It has a sweary word on it, so I'm going to turn it round to the unsweary word part. This is the yarn for the baby yarn woven blanket. The wool is all here, ready to go. Shouldn't need it. Once I've organised in here a bit better, the plan will be to move Ashley, the 32 inch, 38, whatever, the big rigid teddy loom, and Sally, the sampler loom, through here. I need to be careful where to store them. They're likely going to be stored here, purely because they can't be on an external wall, they can't be near the radiator, and they can't be near the window, so the only option is to store them there. So this bag is getting kept because I really want that blanket finished. The loom's been half warped, I just need to finish winding it on. This one is another bag that I made myself. This is my Bambi bag. Slightly dodgy because I sewed the pattern upside down. Well, I didn't sew it upside down because the bottom is the right way round. This side, the pictures are the right way round, so it doesn't matter, it's only me that's using it. This is another future project. This will be a jumper for Ryan. I got this wool from King Craig Fabrics. I have absolutely no idea what it is anymore. It's clearly woolly because my nose is on fire. This will be a jumper for Ryan. I'm not 100% sure which jumper. I need to really stop rubbing this on my face. possibly another Albina McLaughlin jumper, because let's face it, you all know I'm obsessed. There is, I think when I weighed it, there was 800 odd grams, so it should be enough to make some sort of jumper for Ryan. Oh. I've nearly emptied this bag. This is another bag made by me. This is what I call the cushion bag, because I forgot to box the bottom. Wee bit dodgy. I did manage to solve the problem of a strap. The front of this bag is absolutely manky. I think I'll need to get it put in for a wash. Another rusty ferret pin badge. And my 3 Ravelry badges. This, I am not 100% sure what this project is. I am pretty sure this is a boxy. Now, I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to find a bit where it's easier to see. Let me see. I am striping it with this. This feels like rope. I'm hoping that once that's, I know it's definitely lamb's wool, and I know a few people who are going to be screaming, "Are you off your head?" I don't do well with wool. I am very, very allergic, which is why I'm keeping this at arm's length, because I do have the urge to sniff it. This one smells very, very sheepy. These were all bought from King Craig Fabrics. The plan will be to stripe these in with that may possibly need to stop helico knitting at some point, just to make sure that obviously I'm stopping and starting in the right place. I think it originally thought of doing like 10 stripes at each and keeping, and there goes the wool. I'm going to quickly stick these back in. And stripe, sorry, where was that? Yeah, and striping 10 rows each, and helico knit for a bit, stop and do it that way. Again, this is going to be kept. It will not be, it'll be, I think I've wrote it down as boxy-ish, because I'm needing it to cover, I need it to stop a bit here so that it's not touching any part of me, and it'll also need to be short sleeved so it's not touching any part of me. I will have a lamb's wool jumper if it kills me, probably will, but I'm sadistic, I don't care. Next one. In my Rick Rack Room sheet bag, obviously I'm obsessed. This is the Spring Blossom Shawl by I'm sure it's home on some number of acres farm. I'll leave, it could be 15 acres, home on 15 acres. Not entirely sure, I'll leave it up there. I absolutely love that pattern. I am going to be using Countess Blaze Being Woken Every Morning by Seagulls, because during the summer I am, and Mothing the Squid Midnight Sky. This I got from Raylene. This I won from Leslie of Not Quite Enough Yarn. I think they do look lovely together. And that one has blacks, and this one has greens in it. So again, this will be in the future project pile, which is overflowing. Last project in my bag. This is in a bag that I received from Jane from Mouse Knits and Crafts. It's my Apple bag. And in here is housing. There's no crochet hook. Yeah, there is. Panicked slightly there. Is housing my moss stitch blanket. Let's see. This was wool that was left over. I'm just going to keep going round. It'll be for one of the cats. I've seen as there's a lot of tops of units that they like to climb up on, so I'll just stick blankets on it. So that'll be getting kept, and I'll work on that. I'll work on that whenever I get round to it. My rather large postage bag is empty now. However, I do have this full of projects. That's a project, and these, and another one. So what is next? Oops. Next up is this bag. This is another future project. This is going to be a flip end by Albina McLaughlin. I have coveted, is the most appropriate word, this jumper for ages. My friend Heather had, I don't know if she sample knit it or pre-knit it for Albina, and the whole time it was like, I need that jumper, I need that jumper. And I was joking with Heather, and I was like, I have got to that stage of desperation where I've ordered the wool in case Albina asks for it to be pre-knit, and unfortunately I'd missed that boat. So I do have the wool for it. I will be making it because I want that jumper. This is Signet Iron in shade 488 in saffron. It's acrylic, which is, look, I can rub on my face. The pattern I'll get started as soon as I start clearing off some needles. I'm not allowed to start any more Albina patterns until I've fixed my Islay cardigan. I have finished my circle, so the needles are ready, waiting to go, but I'm purposely not starting another jumper until I get some of these projects finished. Next, this is where we move into, I am really obsessed with Albina McLaughlin. This wool is for Galosh by the Galosh Pullover by Albina McLaughlin. This is for Ryan. This one, Ryan's jumper, my jumper. I'm making two. Again, they'll be future projects once I do the flip end, or maybe before. What is next? I'm going through these quite quick. This one is for the Candy Cane Lane Sweater by Drops Design. I'll leave a note of what the number is for the pattern and also put a picture in. I have had this wool for 2 years, and every year I keep saying I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Now I can't remember which group I was on. It's using Drops Charisma. Again, I'm sure it's an alpaca, so this may actually be a disaster waiting to happen. Is it alpaca? I don't think it tells you what it is. It's 100% wool. See, it's no scratchy, so I'm kind of hoping it should be fine. Can't remember which group I was on, and somebody had used the red. Again, it was a colour work pattern. She'd washed it and the red dyed. The dye just come spewing out it and turned the white bits pink. I'm not wanting that happening, so I have pre-washed all the red to stop it from dyeing, should I ever get round to actually knitting the project up. In my lovely My Little Pony bag, which was bought when my niece was very small, and I repurposed the bag as a knitting bag. Apparently this was Lou and that was Andrew. She didn't quite realise that obviously Rainbow Dash is a girl and Andrew's a boy, but that was Lucy and that one was Andrew. In here is a whole load, with the exception of these, of minis. These are stuff that I got from magazines. They're all between 10 and 25 grams. The plan for this is to make a granny patchwork blanket, and I'll leave details up top and I'll put a picture in. I have a lot of DK acrylic, and the plan will be whatever's left over for other projects I can just keep adding to it. Now I have, as you can see, it's pretty full of different ones. Stuff for that and knitting. Can anybody remember that magazine? I've got a whole load of these in other bits and pieces, so I'm just going to keep working away on that. That's going to be another future project once I get ready my current projects. One that's not in a bag I'll add that in here, is my Pebbles cardigan. That is currently in the wardrobe in a bag right at the back, and I just don't have the time or the inclination to try and pull it out, because actually at that point I think I'd got up to 27, then I minded a couple that were already sitting, so I added them in. Then I went looking in a drawer and started finding more, so I'm not going to look in any more drawers, because all I'm going to find is more projects, and I don't need any more projects because I've got another 8 to go. This is what I call my natter bag. All I need is mascara and caffeine. Don't wear makeup, can't drink coffee. It looked good. This is housing my Nightfall shawl by AK Laurie Designs. Still love this, still want it finished. I'm going to have to pick this up and get working on it, because once I start, it doesn't take much to keep going with it. So that's definitely keep. I've got projects everywhere, my piles are starting to mingle. What is next? These ones in another dodgy bag made by me, which isn't very dodgy, it's actually quite a good wee bag. Nope, that is the wrong project. In my Knitting Goddess bag, I'm seeing nothing. However, yes it does. These are Ryan's basic ribbed socks. For some reason I pulled the needle right out that one. Clearly I thought he didn't need socks. The plan will be to... What was the issue with these socks that I stopped? I think one was bigger than the other. Yeah. I think what I'll do is I'll rip them back and redo them. So that'll be another fix in future project. I'll rip them back out, reskein them and rework them into socks for Ryan. So that can go there because that's the you need to fix pile. Now onto my dodgy bag that isn't very dodgy. This started off as the Rincon shawl by AK Laurie Designs. Stick a picture in. I don't know what it is with this pattern. Now I've done a lot of Laurie's shawl patterns, never have any problem. For some reason this shawl is just driving me nuts. I want that shawl. I will finish that shawl if it kills me. That's going to be a future project because those two look stunning together. Next, and this is a bag that came from Hobbycraft. Again, used fabric pens and drew on it. This is my Rainbow Blurry, which will probably need ripped out. Oh, maybe no. If I can save this and find my higher stoppers, I might be okay. This, did I say it was my Rainbow Blurry? Can't remember. This is a Blurry by Albina McLaughlin. I'm definitely wanting a rainbow one. I love my Blurry cardigan, and I want a nice bright coloured one for sitting in here because this room gets freezing with the window open. So that will be my plan. It won't be at the top in my list because there is quite a fair bit of work to do that, but I'll keep working on it. I do need to find, now obviously this bag has only got this ball of wool in it. I need to find the bag that contains the rest of the wool. I don't know where I would have put it. That'll be a job for another day because I will need to go and find it. But again, that's going to get kept. Is it this one or this one? Pass it in. Yes, this one. And another bag from Raylene. These were supposed to be Andrew's Christmas socks for last year. As you can tell, they're not even started. They will get done at some point, so they're just going to go in the future project bag. This is a Christmas bag from, wait a minute, is it that way? This'll Do You. It's another Christmas bag, Christmas tree stitch marker. And these are Ryan's Christmas socks from last year. Obviously he never got Christmas socks either. So that'll be on the future projects list. That pile is huge. Next one. And this bag came from B&M. It's a makeup bag. Don't wear makeup. It does come in handy as being a sock bag. These are my Christmas socks from last year. Absolutely no work's been done on them. I have managed to get the heel in on one. I need to do the heel in the other one. Pretty sure they've been fixed. They've been fixed. Pretty sure they've been fixed. So that again, I'll keep them and work on them. I think the plan will be to have the two of them. I've got a pair of socks on the needles now. I'll work on them. Once I finish them, I'll start on these ones because these are the socks that are closest to being finished. And then I'll start on other socks. So that's yet another keep pile. Is that the last project? Last project. Now this is a massive bag. Again, this is another bag from Hobbycraft. It isn't even washed. And in this bag, now, big bag. Pair of socks. Again, that'll be a future project. I don't know if it's going to be socks or a pair of gloves or mitts or something. It will definitely be coming out of this bag, and this bag will be washed and I'll stick it in. I think there's a project or two that needs moved into a bigger bag, so I'll maybe do a swap. And that is all 38 of my current whips and future projects and everything. That's a lot of projects. The plan for this year will be not to start any more projects until I at least get some of them finished. Priority is going to be the Saving Mess blanket because it's so close to being done, it's not even funny. And then I'll just gradually work out which one's closer to being finished and just keep doing that until I get to the point where I just random number generate projects to start on. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I know this was a bit of a long one. 38 projects is a lot. I have banned myself from starting any more projects. I don't think I'm going to be frogging anymore, because all the projects that I've got are projects that I'm wanting to work on. I just need to find the hours in the day to actually work on them. We will be back very soon with an actual podcast episode. I'm not going to do any live stuff, I'll do that in the normal podcast. Andrew will be here, it has been planned, we are feeding them. He's being bribed, is the only way I can describe it, to come and visit. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you back here again soon. Bye!